Coming up this morning, Kelli Beam from the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce shares how the Chamber is working for you to build a thriving community. Phillips, founder of Aim to Serve, breaks down what it takes to serve adult beverages in Tennessee's thriving food service industry. Plus, don't miss our Purple Paws Pet of the Week and your chance to win cool prizes. Good morning, Murfreesboro, for January 10th, 2025. Starts now.
Good morning, Murfreesboro. I'm Lance Chandler.
And I'm Rachel Albertson. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Murfreesboro, where we talk about what makes Murfreesboro shine.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so happy to be here again. We have a new year now. We talked about it last year, but This is our first real episode of 2025.
I know, I'm super excited.
It's super exciting. I am so excited for it because we have some very good guests on today.
We do, and look around. We're in a new place.
We are in a new place, which is the biggest surprise of all, isn't it?
For sure.
We really love this place. Tell them a little bit about it, Rachel.
So this is Hemisphere's, and it is right off the square. I have been here before. Have you?
I've not been here during its open hours yet. You know, it's dry January, so.
Well, I was here in December and had some excellent grape juice, as we call it.
We were too busy traveling for the holidays to go anywhere other than family and around and stuff. So didn't make it here, but I plan to in February. It'd be a good Valentine's Day date for sure.
True. As a California native, although I transplanted here a long time ago, almost 20 years now, when I came in, I was very impressed with the selection of wines.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, located right in the heart of Murfreesboro, right off the square on Main Street. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to come and just hang out, have a glass of wine, bring a date night. You know, it's really great.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And I think they have some events coming up that you guys should look out for next month.
Yeah. I'm sure we will have them tagged in our post here, so you can go check that out and see events that's going on at the Hemisphere.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, did you know that January is National Blood Donation Month?
I actually didn't know that, so that's really cool.
I didn't know that until today. But what I would like to say is donating blood is really important. There are a lot of emergencies during the holidays in December, and the blood levels run low at the banks, and it's really important to go out there and donate. Some of you know and some of you don't. I had a daughter with cancer, and she had somewhere between 13 and 15 blood transfusions and 4 transfusion of platelets, which comes from multiple people. So it is really key that you go out and at least get tested, make sure you can donate. It's not a long or rigorous thing. People are scared of needles. Just close your eyes. But I do.
It's really not that bad. And you know what? Here's a fun fact about it that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know their blood type. And guess what? You can find out your blood type when you get blood. Give you a little app. You can go look at it and everything. So it's really cool. That's how I figured out mine.
Well, if you go and donate blood, take a selfie and post it on our page, and we'll make sure we give you a little extra love.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do that. Some other interesting events that are happening today is we have Rod Stewart's birthday today. So we have some celebrity birthdays. He's turning 80 years old. That is just unbelievable. I love Rod Stewart. And then we have Pat Benatar, who is turning 72. Wow. And then we also have George Foreman, if you love his grills. Yep, absolutely. I had a George Foreman grill back in the day. He's turning 76.
That's crazy. It's making me feel a little old.
I know. And then, sadly, yesterday we had the national memorial service for President Jimmy Carter, and we just wanted to remember him. He was 100 years old. He was the longest living president. So we just wanted to pay our respects, honor him for being a great president. Even though it was only 4 years, he still did great things with his life and great work. So we're thankful for what he did, and we just want to remember him. Birthdays are great, but sometimes we also want to remember those that pass as well.
There's a documentary about him that I watched, and it talked a lot about, most people remember his last year and think that he's the worst president ever, but during the first 3 years and definitely after his presidential time, he did a lot of great things.
It's hard to be judged off of 4 years, right?
I wouldn't want anyone doing that to me.
You have a whole lifetime of works, and it's hard to be judged off of just 4 years because he did such great things for the whole world. In general, he was just a really good man that needed the credit for that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, one thing we need to do is we also need to talk about what we have coming up later in the show, which are trivia.
Yep. Good morning, trivia. We'll have the winner from 2 weeks ago, and also a new question. So I get educated.
Absolutely. And we also...
Every week I'm like, I didn't know the answer to that.
It surprises me too sometimes. Also, we have to thank our sponsors. Yeah, absolutely. We have Superior Overhead Doors.
Titan Media Works.
Info Rules Social Media. 615
Insurance.
Achieve Entrepreneur Center.
And the Murfreesboro Pulse.
Yeah, we're so grateful for our sponsors. They are amazing. They help us put this show together with some of their information, and their great sponsorship just really helps us grow our show. Also, we have some events coming up, so we love to talk about our events, don't we, Rachel?
Yes. You're going to get started?
I am going to get us started. This week we have Patterson Park Community Center. This is the New Year, New You class sampler. Sample exercises offered at Patterson Park. These are, it's a 2-hour event that is taught in 15-minute mini sessions, and it's for all fitness levels. So if you're somebody that is not used to working out, if you have that New Year's resolution to get fit, you can definitely do that. You don't have to be, ripped and ready for a body show competition to be able to do this.
Right, and today is National Quitters Day, so if you go to that class, you're already beating everyone that quit. The MTSU women's basketball team is on the road next week, but the MTSU men's team will be here tomorrow against Jacksonville State, and that starts at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and then also, if you love music, and I love music, you have Dueling Pianos Night at Heroes Den. If you've not been to Heroes Den, it's a cool little place, veteran-owned, and it is almost, we have a speakeasy, but it gives you that speakeasy vibe the way it's designed. Join Carter Elliott and Tyler Petty as they play your favorite songs. Arrive early, as it's a small place, so seats will fill up quickly, and then there's also food. If you go to the food truck outside, they have SoCali. I love SoCali. They're really good.
Me too. Me too. On Saturday, January 11th, also, the Habitat Heroes Pick of the Litter Cleanup. That's going to be taking place at the Overall Street Trailhead. And it's important that you sign up ahead of time. We're going to post that link below. It's the Outdoor Murfreesboro Volunteer Platform. But you can come and help keep our greenway clean. And it's a fun way to meet some new people.
Yeah, I love our greenway. It is such a cool thing to go walk and see all the different sides. Also, we have the Tennessee Songwriters Competition. So if you're a songwriter in the area, this is an awesome event. I've heard of it for several years. I have a musical background, so it's something cool to be a part of. You can sign up for this until January 14th of 2025. This competition, the preliminary round takes place at Cedar Glades on Sunday, February 2nd. 2 winners will move on to the next round, which is at the Franklin Theater in March. The winner of all of that will get their own special showcase at the Bluebird Cafe.
And thank you to the Murfreesboro Pulse for all of these fun events that we get to share with the community. Go check out their website, and we post the links below.
In our comments, yeah, absolutely. We also have a commercial break coming up, and then right after that commercial break, we will have our first guest, Kelli Beam.
All right, welcome back. And we're here today with Kelli Beam, the VP of Membership Development for the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Kelli.
Thank you for having me today.
Welcome.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. What a joy it is to have you on the show.
Well, thank you.
And we love everything you do in the community, and that's what we're here to talk about.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate the opportunity to come on.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we start with just a little bit about you?
Yeah.
Fabulous. My husband Jason and I have been here 20 years. I can't believe that. And I've actually been with the Chamber. It'll actually be 18 years in May.
Wow.
Happy anniversary.
Well, thanks.
Awesome.
Early
anniversary.
Yeah. So celebrating 25 years of marriage this year. So that's been awesome. And we have 2 beautiful kids, Drew and Carly, and we love living here. So we're Middle Tennessee kids, Dixon and Tullahoma, so this made a great middle. No pun intended, but a great middle for us. And we really enjoyed just growing our kids here and our family. So it's been a blessing.
Yeah, Murfreesboro is a great community to do that in, I feel like.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I have lots to say about that.
Well, we'll listen all day long, for sure.
It's all good. It's all good.
So you're the VP at the Chamber, VP of Membership Development. Let me rephrase that. Tell us about that.
I have the opportunity to work with so many businesses as they come in, whether it's through our team that works in economic development, as they bring companies into the community. I get to work with them and talk to them about how it is to live, work, play in our community.
Yes.
But we also get to work with small businesses such as Hemispheres, like we are here today. And just really proud of the fact that we get to go out and connect with our businesses to make sure that they know about each other, but also about the rest of the community. We are actually just did our first ribbon cutting of 2025 yesterday, so I'm really excited about that. Ended last year at 121 ribbon cuttings. Yeah, so I get that privilege as well to be able to host all those ribbon cuttings, and that's been a blessing. But it's really important for us to know who the business owners are because we walk into these spaces and we kind of get to know them on a more personal level as opposed to just seeing an ad here or there. Ads are great, but getting to know those folks one-on-one is very important as well.
I agree, because sometimes it's hard to meet the owner of a business.
Right, because they're busy.
Right, they're running the business.
Right, they are.
So at a ribbon cutting, it's a great opportunity to meet them.
I say to people all the time, you walk in and out of, or you drive up and down streets all the time, and you're like, oh, I wonder what that business is, or I wonder what that business is. We kind of create a little opportunity for people to come into those celebrations or ribbon cuttings, not feeling the pressure of either purchasing something or whatever, but getting the opportunity to walk in at a space and kind of learn about it before, kind of a try before you buy kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's pretty neat.
That's really cool. So membership, right?
Yes.
So what would you tell somebody that might be starting a business or might be new to the area about getting involved with the chamber and getting that membership? What is that process?
Well, come see me first, because typically on Friday mornings we do an orientation at the Chamber 101.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You can follow us on the website, rutherfordchamber.org. But we just ask that you just come in and learn. I want to be the best resource that we can be to all of our members in our community. So if you're in real estate or if you're in small business to big business, there's something at the Chamber for you. For small businesses, we actually house the Tennessee Small Business Development Center, and a lot of people don't even realize that.
They don't, yeah.
And what a great resource, and it's free. Did I say that? Free. And it's a free resource to those small businesses to be able to come back and like dot all the I's and cross all the T's and ask the questions that you might not know to ask yourself.
Yep. Plus you guys have training within
Correct. And they do all that. They're on the second floor. They do an amazing job. But then added to that, our networking events. We've got business before, after hours, some smaller events that you guys can come and be a part of, just so that you can start getting to know the community. A lot of people, I just tell them, if they will just come in, you might meet your new best friend. You might meet your best customer.
Right.
You might find somebody to do life with. And I mean, I found that to be true myself over 20 years ago when I didn't know anyone.
Yeah, you know, I've met so many friends, but so many colleagues and so many other business owners just off of going to chamber events in general, just off of doing a business before hours, business after hours, or just finding a ribbon cutting and going to that. And one, you do meet the owners of the business typically, but on top of that, there's such a community that shows up to those events that you get to meet people that maybe you've been trying to get in front of for a long time.
It's interesting because I have people who walk up to me at events and they'll say, I'm looking for this type person. Is that person in this room?
Wow.
And a lot of times I'm able to look around the room because I do pride myself on being able to know the majority of the folks there. But I'll look around the room and say, you really need to go speak to this might be a good contact for you. So it's just about those connections. I want to be the best resource that I can possibly be to anyone in this community, whether they come in and they want to know about where to go, our tourism opportunities, our economic development, our workforce development areas, because we're working really closely with our schools and our businesses to make sure they're talking. Because as you can imagine, jobs have changed over the last few years since I've been working. So the big thing is making sure that our schools and our education systems are talking, to make sure we're talking about the types of jobs that are out there now or the ones to come. And what do our kids need to be learning? How do they need to be trained? So our schools do a great job of partnering up with us in our workforce development area for that. So
I think the investment pays back the first meeting you ever go to.
Well, I do as well, but all you can do is come and try. Right. Chamber 101, Friday mornings, 8:30 to 9:30. I wasn't there this morning, so somebody else is taking care of it for me. So,
we
so I'm excited.
It.
No problem.
That's all right.
No problem.
That's all right. We appreciate you being here for that as well. Well, one last question we like to ask our guests: is there anything that you would like to tell people coming up with the chamber, things like that you have going on in the future that you want people excited about?
We just have a lot of great events. Like I said, you can follow us on rutherfordchamber.org and make sure that you've really just talk about, look at the events that we have there. We try to do those every month, and we're very specific about the dates and times, so you can plan accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then other people don't plan events around your events.
Right.
But
I almost messed that up.
It's okay.
I got called out on
No, it's okay. I was like, don't plan stuff. No, it's nice because I will say we're still a small enough community that we want people to come and get around to all the different spaces and all the different organizations outside in the community.
In closing, you are a mom, and a proud mom, and you have two wonderful kids.
Yes.
Drew is at UT Knoxville. I'm so bad at this stuff.
No, it's okay. He was with UT Knoxville or the Vols as a baseball player, and they won the national championship in 2024. And then he was actually drafted in July to the Kansas City Royals baseball team.
Congratulations!
And so,
my
I have an MLB guy. It's so crazy.
I'm going to be at a Kansas City game in April.
You?
Well, and you know awesome. I don't sports. So
I don't sports. Well, it's exciting. He's still got ways to go. We've still got to go through the minors, but it is a pretty cool opportunity.
Awesome.
And then our daughter, Carly, she is a star in her own right. Yeah. As many people know, she has a form of muscular dystrophy called spinal muscular atrophy. Her claim to fame right now is learning to drive, and she's in a wheelchair, but her opportunity is going to get the equipment to drive herself in her vehicle with specialty hand controls. And that's going to be an opportunity, hopefully, that the community can come around her and love on her a little bit. We'll see. I'm stressed out about that a little bit.
All parents are.
But you have two very talented children.
Thank you. Yeah, for her to drive like that is pretty awesome. But just really proud of both of our kids, and really blessed for the community to love on them like they have. So I will say she is the cheer manager for her Blackman cheer. Cheerleading national champion cheerleading team.
That's
so she has a
awesome.
white jacket and a ring and everything. But we'll be going to Disney in February for another national, so hopefully we'll bring back another white jacket.
Awesome.
Is there a specific way that we can help the community or on a national level with the SMA?
Cure SMA is the organization that we mostly support. I've got my little bracelet on here. But we also follow along with MDA, Muscular Dystrophy Association. You can follow us on social as well. She has a great following. She's almost certified. She's getting toward that certification or that blue check.
Awesome.
Yes.
She's so excited about that. Verified. There you go. And really just thankful that so many people support her and those efforts. So
if you've been to any events, she comes to
a lot. She comes to a lot. She is welcome. She actually just got a little. She's got 3 jobs. I mean, like the girl wants to work. We're trying to keep up with the makeup regimen that she has right now. So.
Well, that is super fantastic. Thank you for sharing, your life and our businesses with the community.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, Kelly. We really appreciate it. It
No,
means a
it's
lot
been
to
fun.
us.
And Happy New Year.
Oh, yes.
Happy
I mean,
Happy
we've got
New
a
Year.
great year coming ahead of us. So many awesome opportunities. So if get out and just be seen.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Really
Thank you,
great.
Kelly.
Thank you.
All right, well, next up, we have Purple Paws Pet of the Week. This week's Pet of the Week comes to us from Rutherford County Cat Rescue. Meet Mochi. Mochi was found living with 5 other kitties on a porch of an abandoned house that was being demolished. She's a very laid-back kitty that would prefer to be the only kitty in the house, but she does play nice with dogs if you have other animals.
Yeah, if you think you would like to adopt Mochi, contact the RCCR at rutherfordcountycatrescue.org, and you can find all that information below in our description to pick up Mochi if that's what you like. All right, well, we have our next guest here with us, Rachel. We have Chris Phillips. Chris is the owner of Aim to Serve. He is also a broker with Keller Williams, and he also serves with the BNI as leadership as well. So you wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for
You're a
being here,
busy
Chris.
guy.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for inviting me,
really
guys.
appreciate having you.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about what you do with Aim to Serve.
Well, I started Aim to Serve in 2001, just kind of a part-time gig, really. And I was a bartender at the time, and our restaurant kept getting fined for not having their servers, trained properly.
Yeah.
So the bar guy asked me, he said, "Hey man, you want to teach this course?" And I said, "Sure, I'll do it." So I started doing it. So then later on, it turned into a full-time thing.
That's amazing. So basically you teach a course for bartenders and it's mandatory, right? You have to do it, right?
Yes.
So you put that together. So how many classes do you teach a month, a year? Like how often do you do
Is
this?
it just you? Do you have people that do it for you?
Well, it's evolved, So when we first started, it was just me. And, we did it part-time, and I would teach a class every other day, and we would teach locally in certain areas. And in fact, one of the reasons that I saw there was a need was because there was one guy who taught one class in each region per month. So people couldn't get to a class.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I'm going to do something new. I'm going to try to teach it once a week in the region. And that way they'll have more opportunities for people to come, and they really took it on and they liked it.
So they have 52 opportunities in a year, right?
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Plus a shorter turnaround for businesses trying to hire servers.
Yes, yeah. So, and not knowing where to go and doing word of mouth, that was one of the things that we wanted to do. So we did that, and we did that for probably, I guess, till like 2018.
Oh, wow.
And then they started talking about doing the class online. So now the class is mainly online.
So much easier, right, to do it that way?
It is for the servers.
Yeah.
I think they miss an element there because a lot of times, they could ask questions in the class. We had really good trainers that had been experienced in serving alcohol for a long time. And those guys, they could give them a lot of insight on what to do, what not to do. They felt comfortable and safe in asking those questions because they didn't work for the TABC.
Right.
And it's a little harder now that it's online.
Yeah, a lot of things changed after COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like our society is getting more in tune with doing things online, Zoom meetings, classes, things like that. But you do also miss out on that element of the one-to-one interaction that you have, where sometimes if you're behind a camera, right, you're a little timid or afraid. If nobody else is saying anything, you don't want to be that guy or that girl to raise your hand and be like, I have a question, and stop everybody if everybody's just like, let's get through it,
Yeah, and the challenge now is keeping the students involved and, interacting with the course.
Yes.
So it isn't a live trainer who's teaching the class, it's just a course. So they're just clicking and listening to the video, answering the questions, and then moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the distractions happen. They'll have a video on their phone, maybe listening, halfway intently and just wanting to get it over with. And that's our biggest challenge. So what we do is we have live actors who actually talk to them. And we ask questions, we propose stuff. So we do places like this where we'll come in and do a vignette, and we'll set a different scenario and we'll say what to do, what not to do.
How cool.
So we're one of the few programs that do that. You know, most of them do cartoon animated stuff, boring stuff that puts you to sleep, and we just don't do that.
Yeah. You know, like I do insurance when I'm doing Good Morning Murfreesboro, and there's so many of those courses like CE hours and stuff you have to take. Which if you're a real estate broker, you know about all of that stuff. And that's what it is that cartoon stuff. And like by the third hour into it, you're just like, oh, please be done, please.
I took all my classes in person because I wanted to be able to ask those questions when I became a broker. It was 120 hours, and most people don't know that. You got to do that in 3 years. It was a lot more intensive than I thought it was going to be, but it really paid off. It made me a better agent.
I think that's a big impact that agents are missing nowadays that are post-COVID and did a lot of stuff online and didn't do it in person. I feel like there's a knowledge factor that is missing in that.
And with Aim to Serve, you know, we've evolved. You know, we saw a need in the community. We saw that they needed to be classes every week instead of once a month. We brought that, you know, in innovation to the group. We also brought some other things. We were practical. We were I guess a bridge between the TABC and the bar owner, restaurant owner, or even the servers who wanted to ask questions without feeling like, hey, if I ask a question, you know, I might get my bar in trouble or I might get my restaurant in trouble. So they would call us a lot of times and say, hey, Chris, are we supposed to do this? How do we do this? You know, this is what we're doing. Is this right? And we could guide them along that way with that process. So then, you know, when it went into online, now we're getting those inquiries online, and they're not as forthcoming with their questions. So we have to call them and say, okay, tell me more about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not like a bartending class. Nobody's going to learn how to make a Cosmo.
No, but they're going to be able to tell people, you know, how to cut someone off. You know, so if you're an 18-year-old high schooler and you're wanting to serve at, you know, a local restaurant, and all of a sudden a 40-year-old man becomes intoxicated, you're pretty intimidated on how do I stop this? You know, I know this doesn't look right. What do I do? So we get that manager to get involved, and we talk to them about the steps, and then we teach that 18-year-old so they have the confidence to go to their manager and say, hey, I've got a problem at my table.
That's very valuable.
That's good knowledge because it is intimidating. I mean, I know I started out as a young person. We were all young once, right? And it is intimidating. We have somebody. It's intimidating though when you're younger than Rachel. You know. To have somebody that's older than you, like maybe get in your face. Or I worked in a retail job where like it was intense. And I was fairly young at the time, and it did help just having my manager who had been doing it for like 20 years. And he would come out and he'd be like, hey, let's calm it down. Like it's all gonna be okay. If you be nice, we'll be nice, we'll get it done, you know?
Our biggest challenge now, because you know, when we were doing the classes in person, one of our challenges was, does the person have to have an ID on them to drink? And the answer actually is no.
Really?
No, they don't unless they are have to prove that they're of age. So, you know, somebody like myself who's 54 years of age, I can walk in a restaurant. They can legally card me, and if I don't have my ID, they could refuse to serve me because I can't prove I'm 21. However, if they don't card me, they haven't committed a crime.
That's the difference.
I didn't know that.
And if you look 50 years or older, then you're not required to card somebody. And that's another little misnomer that, you know, a lot of people don't know about. So we're not able to say those in the online training, so we have to get that out through word of mouth through other ways.
So what you're saying, if somebody doesn't ask for my ID, I should be highly offended because I look 50 years or older.
No, because I would have to be offended if they don't ask for mine. So we're just going to let that one go.
Now, the difference of that is if it's in a restaurant, you know, you're not required to card somebody if they look 50 years or older. But if you're at Costco's, Kroger's, or any of those places, it's mandatory. Everybody has to be carded. Everybody has to have their ID. That's a retail versus a restaurant set is difference.
Everybody needs your classes.
When they're getting into this. So that's where the confusing comes in because now, no, I was told we were supposed to card. No, I don't have to card, you know, and then we have to walk them through that steps.
That process.
The best policy is to card everybody.
Absolutely.
That way you don't make any mistakes.
We're talking steps. Tell us steps. You have that 18-year-old. What that 18-year-old decides, this is what I want to do. My buddy does it. He makes great money. My friend does it. She makes great money. Let's talk about, I'm 18. step one to getting licensed.
So the first thing you want to do is go to abcpermits.com, take the class, get your server permit, and then go looking for a place to work. People are going to, obviously look at you more if you have that license than if you don't. But you have 61 days to get your license if it's your first time serving. If you already have a server permit, you cannot wait. You have to have your permit before you can serve again.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's having your license first will also expedite getting a job.
Yep. Now, and new here in 2025, since it's a Happy New Year, the state of Tennessee has just passed a new law. We had to add to our curriculum sexual assault stuff. So we're talking to people about, dropping drugs and drinks, watching your drinks, how all that stuff takes place, human trafficking, those kind of things we have in our class now. That's part of our mandatory course. So we've added those things to it, and the permit went from 5 years to 2 years, which the servers are not too happy about.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I feel like if you're going to teach or serve alcohol, this drug, you need to be aware of the changes, and they do change a lot.
Yeah, so that being said, you said from 5 years to 2 years.
Yep.
So there's a renewal process.
Yep.
Do they have to take your class again?
They do.
Okay.
They do. And we update our class every year. So if there's new rules or regs that have passed, then we'll update those online. I like to add new things to it just to give it a new twist. So if somebody's taken the class 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, then it's not going to be the same class.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, to wrap it up, we want you to throw your information out there. How can people get involved with you? How can they find your business?
Sure, they can get in touch with us at abcpermits.com or aim2serve.com, either one of those.
Yeah.
They can take the class right there from it. If they want to talk to us personally, they can call us and look for us on Google. We're on there. Just call the home office. Either my wife or I'll answer the phone.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
All
Well, don't close that browser window. Good Morning Murfreesboro Trivia is up right after this message.
All right, it is time for Good Morning Trivia. It is everybody's favorite part of the show.
It's definitely mine.
Yeah, definitely mine too. I love doing this. This week we have to talk about business first. We didn't know our winner last week because we had a short episode, so we're going to talk about our winner this week. So last week's question was, who is the current host of Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve? And I bet you know this one, Rachel.
I did before I watched the show, even. So that is Ryan Seacrest, who most people know from American Idol or iHeartRadio. But did you know he's also on Wheel of Fortune?
He is on Wheel of Fortune now. That job must pay pretty well. Ryan Seacrest is a pretty popular dude.
Yes.
So that's awesome. He's literally everywhere, has a radio show and everything. But our winner this week is Rena Goins. Rena will end up winning a gift card to Serenity Salt Cave, and she can get in touch with us, and we'll get you in touch with Christy Daniel. We have our question for this week, though, Rachel.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. This week you will have a chance to win a $25 gift card to any Oscar Taco shop here in Murfreesboro.
Yummy.
Yeah. So this question this week is, in what year did Tennessee achieve statehood?
Well, as I mentioned before, I didn't grow up here, so I didn't get all the I can make a church out of sugar cubes, but I do not know what year Tennessee achieved statehood. So I'm going to be excited to get the answer next week.
You can make a church out of sugar cubes?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the 70s and the 80s, man.
All right. Well,
we did some stuff.
We will. That'll be another episode. If you'd like to win this prize, please comment below. Or actually, we'll have a different post made for this one, and then you can comment on that post and answer the question. We'll put you into the drawing for that. So get out there and comment.
For sure. That's great. And then, every week we have these trivia questions. We have events. We have guests. It's a lot of fun for us. We hope it's a lot of fun for you.
We have a great show lined up next week too. We're so
Yes.
excited for that. So
Yes.
so we want to make sure that you tune back in for that. And we have more fun games. We'll have another trivia question next week, and we'll announce our big winner for this one.
Right.
Which I love, Oscar Tacos. If you've not had their chicken fries, you're missing out. Let me
I
tell
haven't
you.
had the chicken fries.
they're-
I'm about those carne asada nachos.
Their chicken fries will change your life. And then one thing we got to do is we got to thank our sponsors again. We have Superior Overhead Doors,
Titan Media Works,
Info Social Media,
615 Insurance,
Achieve Entrepreneur Center.
and of course the Murfreesboro Pulse.
Absolutely. Thank you to them so much. We could not do this without them.
All right. Well, as you said last week, if you guys have missed anything, you can absolutely watch those replays, share them, like, and comment.
Yeah, absolutely. We're on every social media platform, so you can find us everywhere, but you can go back, and it's a big deal. The main thing we want you to do is share our content, make sure that you comment below, make sure you like it, but also we want you to go back because there might be information that you guys missed that you want to go see and find out about Murfreesboro, like
Local businesses.
Cool things like the Hemisphere here. We're so
Right.
grateful for them and them allowing us to host our show here.
For sure. And if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment as well.
Yeah, and we want to thank our staff. We have such a great staff that helps us put on this program, and so we're so grateful for all of them that help in that process.
And I'm really excited about Hemispheres. I know you already thanked them, but I'm going to thank them again.
Yeah.
This is a really great space. I absolutely fell in love the minute I walked in the door. So I'm really grateful for them allowing us to use the space.
Yeah, absolutely. And from all of us here at Good Morning Murfreesboro, let's make it a great weekend.
See you next week.